Hello, welcome to Local Anesthetic Podcast, the most trusted name in local news. My name is Alex, and joining us always for this podcast that's all about local news, the strange, the sinister, the weird, the banal. Fittingly, Rob, leading you in there, is Rob. How are you, mate?
That's, as always, slightly offensive, but apart from that, yes, I'm not too bad at all.
Rob, you say slightly offensive. When I bother to go and visit our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/LA podcast, and I look through the sort of posts and people's comments on the posts, most of them seem to be aimed at taking the piss out of me. And it's been going on behind my back. Well, and I don't appreciate it.
I mean, Alex, that's the only time I really get to express my true thoughts about you, because, you know, I know full well that when I do this podcast, I get edited out. So I need an outlet. What else can I do?
Right, Rob, can I just say, you are aware, aren't you, that there is a provision, isn't there, within EU law, which means I can write to Google and have, I think it's certain things taken down. I mean, maybe I could write to Facebook and say, this is slanderous, I want it removed. I could basically bring down our own podcast. Why not?
Absolutely, but I mean, from what I've read about Facebook, I think it'd be very difficult to take those posts down.
No, Rob, they're very responsive and they really respect user privacy. What are you talking about, man?
Yes, sorry, I was getting confused there.
LA Podcast, sponsored by Facebook. That's a joke. Just want to be clear. Facebook do not sponsor this podcast.
Yeah, and can we just say we don't want your sponsorship either?
I don't know.
Yeah,
okay.
If the offer is right.
Rob, have you got any news?
Yes. So, first of all, I mean, I texted you midweek because as a result of the last episode, we speculated that maybe a good idea to record LA 300 at Eagle Heights. And this idea has just caught fire, Alex. The listeners love it.
But how far is it to get to?
Well, it's now 20. So what's this? This is 277. So we've got 23 episodes. So we're looking.
No, how far is Eagle Heights for us to
I'm
get
sorry.
to,
I'm with you. I don't know. I mean, from you, I think it's probably about an hour and a half from you, I'd say.
Fuck off, an hour and a half?
Are you saying you wouldn't drive for an hour and a half?
Let's find out, Rob. Let's find out. Google Maps is our friend. Right, here we go. Let's find out how far it would be in the car.
Plus, obviously, the cost of the emission as well.
Oh.
And the petrol.
Well, can't we just record from outside?
Or just pretend we went. I'll just find some, eagle noises in the internet.
I'm not sure they've actually got many eagles there, mate. Right, Eagle Heights. Eynsford.
Yeah.
Dartford. Here we go. Directions.
Oh, isn't it Dartford?
You're wrong, Rob. You're totally wrong, mate. It's like 50 minutes.
Well, I did say an hour to an hour and a half, so it's not too far.
Well, there and back. Yeah, you're right. So,
yeah, okay.
so I think we should do that. I think you and me, Rob, we take a road trip. We take the mics. We take the the laptop, whatever, everything to record it. Because we're not going to be able to do it walking around Eagle Heights because we're not set up like that.
No, I think it'd be too cumbersome to. I mean, we could record on our phones, so I mean, we could record audio. It might be slightly tinny if the listeners are prepared to listen to that, but it might. I don't think it's
worth that. I think what we could do, we could just record it in segments. As long as the car is where it is, we can go in, take in some sites, come back, report, do a couple of stories, do it like that.
I also think that what I will do, I will Facebook Live from Eagle Heights. So I'll download the Facebook app, so then we can do a live stream from Eagle Heights. I'll let listeners know when and where.
Or you could just record some videos and post them up on Facebook from there.
I know, but I know that the listeners like live streams. I mean, you don't have to be involved. I can do a few. Me in front of an owl, etc.
Whatever. We'll work it out nearer the time. But yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Where are we going to be? What month are we going to be in by the time we get to episode 300? That's the question.
I was thinking about this, and I suspect...
Isn't it going to be like in the depths of winter?
I think we're going to have to check that it's open as well, because I suspect it'll be approaching Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas Eagle Heights. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Well, let's hope it hasn't closed down by then. Any other news, Rob?
Yeah, so I put a post onto Facebook asking the listeners for themes for the spelling of anaesthetic at the end of the podcast, and we've got some.
Okay, great. So let's wait for that. So we will spell anaesthetic, because anybody doesn't realise this podcast is called LA Podcast, but that's because a long time ago we abbreviated it down from Local Anesthetic Podcast. This is your weekly injection of mind-numbing local news was the tagline, Rob. And we will spell anaesthetic for any of you who want to know at the end of this episode. Okay, Rob, can I get on with it?
Absolutely.
So, you always say we have to have a weekly story from the Mirror nowadays. And this is one. by Matthew Dresch from the 6th of June. British Airways passenger, Rob, forced to sit in dried vomit for 10-hour business class flight.
Wow. I mean, surely the word force is a bit extreme. I'm sure that the cabin crew didn't sort of physically restrain him onto the chair, did they?
Well, wait, no, Rob, you're okay. Wait, I'm going to challenge you on that. A Silicon Valley businessman had to sit in sick for more than 10 hours on a British Airways flight after the cabin crew failed to offer him another seat, it is claimed. British Airways, the world's favourite airline. Dave, I'd love it if you just got a check through from British Airways for that. Dave Gildia, vice president of a software firm in San Francisco, the United States, uploaded a picture on Twitter showing the state of his footrest on a flight from London to Seattle. The 38-year-old had reportedly upgraded to business class at Heathrow Airport, only to discover there was vomit all around him a few hours into his flight. I'm assuming it wasn't his own. He claims the BA cabin crew thought he was responsible for the mess and failed to offer him a different seat or an apology, according to the report. He told The Sun, "I didn't notice anything about 2 hours into the British Airways flight when I popped down the footstool so I could get some sleep and saw vomit on the seat. It was also splashed on the wall behind and on the floor below, which I then noticed. He, a steward, didn't offer a seat in exchange or an apology, so I asked for a blanket to cover it up so I could put my feet down." And he, by the way, he is a BA Silver member. I mean, you would expect if you're paying membership. As I slept, I moved around on the blanket, so I woke up with dried vomit on my feet. It was pretty disgusting. With the price I paid for the ticket, I was shocked. You said he wasn't forced to, Rob, but he was. If you're not offered an alternative seat and you're not allowed to stand, then you are being forced to sit in dried vomit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that if push came to shove, they could have found. I mean, maybe it's the fact I'm just jealous, having never been upgraded on a flight or paid for the experience.
I've never flown business class.
No, nor have I.
Ever.
I'd like to do it.
Well, British Airways says we pride ourselves on delivering a high standard of service and an enjoyable experience on board our flights. Sometimes a bit of vomit is to be expected, but generally, no. Reminds me of Alan Ames. I don't know what these people are complaining about. It's not like you got your arms ripped off by a gorilla. We are sorry that on this occasion this fell short of our customers' expectations. That's a bit snarky. Fell short of our customers' expectations. I think it should be your expectations, British Airways, shouldn't it?
I must admit, even if I was in economy class, I wouldn't be expecting to sit on vomit.
I think not even on EasyJet would I expect to
this
sit
isn't
on
a
vomit.
Ryanair flight.
No, I have to say I'm also proud to say I've never flown Ryanair.
I haven't for a while, but there are reasons for that. I must admit, if I can actively avoid flying Ryanair, I will, because
Ryanair really is the Wetherspoons of airline.
I would think that I would say they're below Wetherspoons. They're more bargain booze. I mean. It's the kind of thing I just imagine. I mean, yeah, it's the kind of airline you just imagine that the wing's going to fall off as soon as you take off.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Anyway,
and then they charge you for the privilege.
Okay, Rob. This story is from Sky News, from the 8th of June. Man leaves bag full of drugs on tram and his name and address. Well,
that's handy.
And of course, Rob, this was in Manchester, the home of Skag. A man.
What?
Is that true?
No. I mean, Spice is quite popular there, but I don't know what.
Okay, let's find out. Skag, Manchester. Let's find out, Rob.
I haven't heard anyone call. Is it heroin is Skag, right? I think. Is that crack? I don't even know. I think it's either heroin or crack cocaine. I can't believe we're actually googling what is Skag.
I apologise to the people of Manchester. Apparently, cocaine has become the second most popular drug in Manchester, Rob.
Oh, okay. Behind Spice?
After paracetamol, which is surprising.
Oh, okay. Wasn't expecting that.
No, that bit was a joke. A man has left a rucksack full of drugs on a tram in Manchester.
No, hang on. Did you find, first of all, what Skag is and does it originate from Manchester?
I didn't really find much to do with that, no.
Oh, that's a shame. Carry on.
A man has left a rucksack full of drugs on a tram in Manchester along with his full name and address. Greater Manchester Police Trafford North poked fun, as they do, Rob, because we know the police are all comedians now,
yep, of course,
at the clumsy suspected drug dealer using the hashtags #thoughtful dealer and #honey I forgot my drugs.
I mean, to be fair, that's quite good.
Can #honey I forgot my drugs be our episode title?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Posting pictures of the rucksack and its contents, the force wrote on Facebook, police appeal to reunite lost property with its owner. A poor individual has forgotten his rucksack whilst travelling on the tram on the Berry line. I mean, it is a rucksack full of drugs.
God. Yeah, I know that line. I've travelled that line many a time.
I'm going to read the tweet, Rob. It's got a picture of the offending items and the rucksack, and it simply says, "Deal or no deal?" ? Police appeal to reunite lost property with its owner. A poor individual has forgotten his rucksack while travelling on the tram on the Berry line. At MCR Metrolink have located the bag and have checked for any identification inside to reunite the property with its owner and located 25 tablets, large amount of white powder, small snap bags containing white rocks, snap bags containing white powder and scales. Thankfully, the owner of the bag was helpful enough to leave his community payback card, his name and address.
Fucking So he'd obviously already had a conviction for I'm guessing drug dealing. Oh wow.
Poor guy. Or woman, of course.
Alex, I'm just going to have to interrupt and say that skag is a colloquial term for heroin. It doesn't say where it originated from.
Okay. If anybody from Manchester wants to confirm or deny my allegation, please do. Now, Rob, here's a question for you. I've got a story here from the Traitorous Guardian. You will notice that this week I don't have any stories so far from local newspapers. That's because the local newspapers I generally read, the ones down here, have really had a dearth of content.
I must admit that, in all honesty, one story is from a local paper. The other two, including the listener, are from BBC. So, that's fine.
But this isn't our fault. Yeah, and the reason why it isn't our fault, listeners, is anybody who's been listening to this podcast for a long time will know that up until about 200 episodes, and probably longer than that, most of our content was from local news, which is where it's meant to be from. But something has happened to local news journalism recently, Rob, and I'm not really sure what. But this is why we need more and more and more listeners to be sending your stories from your local area, because we know the gems are out there, but we need you to be sending them.
Absolutely. I mean, what I'm hoping to do is, whilst I'm in Canada, I'm going to try and pick up the local newspaper from there and see whether they've got any good snippets.
Yeah.
I don't know what the local paper of Toronto is, but I'm sure.
How long are you in Canada for, by the way?
Just under 2 weeks.
Lovely. That's quite a long time to impose yourself on people, Rob, but never mind.
Right.
The headline of this article, which is by Emin Sana, is "Rock Bottom, the embarrassing attachments people have fired off in error." Now, Rob, have you ever sent an attachment to an email in error, or an email in error, indeed, that you did not mean to at work? I'll tell you one I did the other day. I wrote in an email to a colleague that I was going to be seeing. I wrote it quickly, and at the end I meant to write, look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And when they wrote back, they highlighted the fact I'd actually said, look forward to eyeing you tomorrow, which obviously didn't sound too good.
And were they looker, or is that not relevant?
It's not relevant, Rob.
Right. I'm sure I have. I mean, I know that there's been a few times where I've accidentally CC'd as opposed to be CC'd, which obviously does cause embarrassment. What I do have a habit of doing, and which I think I've also done to you, is putting kisses on the end of text I
get those from you all the time. I just assume that you're being affectionate, Rob.
Well, to you they're men, obviously, but to other people they're it can be slightly dubious.
Right. So anyway, this is a story. It's a peril of modern communication. You send a company on. You message a company on Facebook to arrange a quote, and you end up sending a picture of your bottom. In a Facebook post that went viral, a hairdresser from Wigan related a story about being asked by a carpet company to send photographs of her stairs, and she mistakenly attached one of her bare behind. "I'm absolutely mortified,"
Nice.
She wrote on her post, followed by several crying, laughing emojis. The company responded in kind before reassuring her the photo would go no further. "Make sure you check what you click," she concluded.
I have a bit of an issue with this.
Okay.
Because if you're going to take that kind of photograph,
Yeah.
why is it still on your phone? Surely,
I think a lot of people keep. I know what you mean, but you're different than most people, Rob. Like, you're the kind of person that keeps their inbox down. You've seen people's phones where it says like 10,000 unread messages, right?
It drives me mad. I mean,
would that keep you up at night?
So, I haven't talked about this on the podcast. Yes, it would. So recently, I've been going through my my online music. So I've got Spotify, but I've also got Google Play, which is where I've got all my albums, and I've got over, I think, about 650 albums on there, and everyone is labelled with the correct year, the correct genre, the album artwork. It's been a labour of love, but yeah, I've got a problem.
But that's fine. I struggle with keeping my inbox down because I get a lot of junk through Gmail and everything. And so what normally happens with me is I'll leave it like 4 months and then I'll go through it and get it down to something reasonable and then I'll leave it. But then again, I don't use folders or all that shit.
No, I couldn't do it. So at the moment, I know this off the top of my head. So I have 4 email addresses going into my Gmail, including local anaesthetics. And I have 5 emails in there across all 4 accounts.
So what do you do with emails you want to keep?
They get starred. There's a little star on there. I star them, and then once they've been actioned, I get rid of them. It's just like I told you, Alex. I'm a sociopath.
Oh, so you don't keep them?
No, I put them into folders. Like, yeah, it has to be organised, Alex. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't get people.
What do you do with junk mail? Just delete it on site?
Yes, yeah, and also this is quite like. I mean this
you
is really boring
unsubscribe,
for the listeners. I have done.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how effective that is, but yeah, I'm one of those horrible people that will go through and delete what I don't need and quite. I mean, if you could see me, I would look like a serial killer because I'm so judicious about doing this. Hello?
Anyway, Rob, yeah, there have been other examples of photos that have been accidentally shared and widely covered. The Canadian woman, Rob, who in 2012 uploaded a hilarious photo of Nicolas Cage instead of a covering letter for a job application. Can I just say, a very good episode title is A Hilarious Photo of Nicolas Cage Instead of a Covering Letter for a Job Application.
Yes,
I really like that.
That's
amazing. In 2015, a man in Chicago lost a job offer after he mistakenly sent nude photos of himself to the human resources manager. More recently, a test email, which wasn't meant to be sent at all, was distributed by the US Embassy in Australia, titled Meeting and containing a photograph of a cat wearing a Cookie Monster suit. Can I say, Rob, a photograph of a cat wearing a Cookie Monster suit, a Cookie Monster is capital C, capital M, it's also a fucking good episode title.
It is. I'd like to combine it with the Nicolas Cage, to be honest.
It's too long. You see what you can do. On Twitter, people have shared some joyful examples. Instead of his coursework, one person attached a photograph of a cat eyeing up a pile of hot dogs. Again, a cat eyeing up a pile of hot dogs is a very good episode title. Another sent a work email with a picture of Buddy from the film Elf attached. Another mistakenly sent her boss an illustration of a sad-faced heart with the words, "I just want to cuddle." Less cute, but equally excruciating, is Guardian reader Shahnawaz Khan's experience. At university, he was an activist and served as the national secretary of one of India's largest student organisations. He sent a report about a potentially discriminatory job advert to 3 colleagues, including his superior. I woke up the next morning when a senior colleague called to ask if I had lost my mind. Instead of the job advertisement, the attachment was a news story in Hindi about a man doing something unspeakable to a dog, which led to the poor animal to lose its appetite. So basically, he sent a Hindi story about a man shagging a dog.
I don't suppose there's any possibility we can get that story, is there?
Listeners, please get it for us. Can I just say, do you believe his excuse that a friend, in quotes, had downloaded it onto his computer and saved it with a similar file name?
No, not in the slightest.
No.
I suspect he was either he was rushed or he was drunk.
Yeah.
And I do wonder whether some of these...
he likes reading stories about dog sex.
Well, yeah. Don't we all?
He said, I spent the entire day embarrassed and in fear of being asked to explain, or worse. New technology is added to the minefield. Spare a thought for Annabelle Kelly's husband. This is great. She reports that their 10-year-old daughter told Siri to call... the 10-year-old daughter had the dad's work iPad, playing with it.
Okay.
And she told Siri to call me super duper poopy poop, which would mean that the iPad thought that the man who owned it, her dad, wanted to be called that from now on. He sent out professional emails for some time with this new display name, not even realising.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm only going to read one comment from the 490 comments because surely it's the best. It's by Mr. Ogress, who simply says, "This is why I have attachment issues."
Oh, very good.
It really is. A better class of comment about attachment issues is a reference to the psychological theory of attachment. Look it up. But yeah, you get a better class of comment from Guardian readers, Rob.
Do you know what, Alex? I would say that's comment of the week.
Yeah, well, I thought we dropped that a while ago.
Yeah, I know. Well, we brought back the fucking theme, so why not bring that back as well?
Okay, comment of the week. There's no prize associated. Okay, Rob, you got a story for us there.
Yes, my first story is from the Somerset Live website, so this will be the only local story from only story from a local newspaper this week.
I'm really disappointed. You've been doing a lot of stories recently from the Somerset Live, and that doesn't give me the opportunity because the Gloucester Live was also known as the Citizen.
Yes, that's right.
It's the Somerset Live have a moniker?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Right.
See, I think the thing is, there's a lot of these county name / live websites, and all they're just a collection of local news stories which from different local papers. So yeah. I think the Gloucestershire Live was obviously it would be a combination of the Citizen and other Gloucestershire. I don't know any other papers.
The Citizen.
There you go. See, you had the opportunity. So yeah. Right. So this story is from the 6th of June. It's by Eddie Bingham.
Hey.
Eddie
Bingham is a proper radio DJ name.
It is.
Eddie Bingham should have done like Radio 2 in the late 80s.
That makes sense. Yeah, he does sound like the man who would do like Eddie Bingham. I think Drive Time sounds like an Eddie Bingham slot. Drive Time
with Eddie Bingham.
Yeah, playing all the hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today.
Yes, there you go.
Anyway.
Eddie Bingham at Drive Time. Could be the jingle.
Yeah.
I could do a recorder version of it as well. Hang on.
Hang on.
You know what? I don't even know where the fucker is.
No, of course you don't. Alex, you can't tease this and then... No, so there's nothing then. You literally lost it.
I don't know. No, it'll be somewhere. I just don't know where. I mean, it could have got lost in an orifice.
For a second, I was really excited. I don't know why. I'm
looking forward to hearing Rob, the jingle. You thought you didn't like it.
I mean, once again, let's not bring it back. But
yeah, absolutely no idea. I'll find it anyway. Rob, get on with the story.
Right, headline. So, live updates as Somerset's gay dogs appear on Channel 4.
Right. Gay dogs? Hey?
Yeah, gay dogs.
Well, I know that homosexuality does occur a lot throughout the animal kingdom. Does it occur in... Well, actually, no, it does, because our first dog would regularly try and hump only other male dogs. And so...
Interesting.
Yes.
So he could appear on this documentary?
Well, he's dead, Rob. You have to dig him up first. Actually, I think he was cremated.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's do you know what? I'm not going to say any more. Let's just leave that where it is. So...
Don't take the piss out of the dead dog, Rob.
Alex, I didn't say anything. All I was going to say is, it's easier to have sex with a corpse than it is some ashes.
That's, well, what if I was... Oh, look, I did love that dog, but I don't have a kind of, like really deep attachment. But what if I did, Rob? You could have traumatised me with that comment.
Well, if I have caused any upset to any listeners...
You would have upset my family.
Okay. Well, in which case, I apologise for my tasteless comment. It was.
You're not sorry.
Said in the. No, you're right. Anyway, so. So, a new documentary on Channel 4 will feature dogs from Somerset who have same-sex preferences. My Gay Dogs and Other Animals airs tonight. So, I'm sorry, listeners. This is obviously this will go out on probably the 14th of June. So, I'm sure you can catch it on...
Yeah, we're recording for the fastidious amongst you on the 13th.
Absolutely. So I'm sure you can catch it on 4OD, and we'll explore gay relationships in the animal kingdom.
Okay, brilliant. So what do people who argue that, you can cure people who are homosexuality or that it's a kind of learnt deviant behaviour rather than something that is innate, how do they explain homosexuality in the animal kingdom? Have a dog chosen to be gay, or is it, do you see what I mean? I mean, it does beg a belief.
Yeah, I haven't really got an answer for that. I mean, I don't know. I have a real issue with this because because obviously this happens at these conversion camps they call which are predominantly in the US as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
You are often run by Christian organisations. So yeah, but anyway, let's not get too deep into that.
All I can't understand about it or anything else is I understand it's perfectly entitled. You're perfectly entitled to have sort of, some of these topics are issues of conscience. You're perfectly entitled to have your beliefs about it, but quite why you would sit around worrying about another person in a gay relationship that has no bearing on your life whatsoever is beyond me. I can do you know what I mean? Nobody's forcing you to do it. You don't need to worry about it. If you don't like it, fine. If you don't agree with it, fine. But it really doesn't have anything to do with you. I'm sure if a gay person turned up at, I don't know, Anne Widdecombe's house, they'd probably find plenty of things that she does that they don't really like, but they don't go around picketing outside her house. I'm not actually saying Anne Widdecombe is anti-gay, but her comments recently were poorly judged.
Yeah, absolutely. And I must admit, I'm sure there's a few things I can name that I find about her that are disagreeable. Anyway, so experts will explain these relationships cannot be dismissed as being other regular animal behaviours, such as bonding. The documentary will feature a gay greyhound from Bath and 2 lesbian pugs from Weston-super-Mare. Can I just say...
How many episode titles have we had?
No,
2
I know,
lesbian pugs from Weston-super-Mare. My God, that's just brilliant. It's the pugs, it's the Weston-super-Mare, it's everything.
Yeah, 2 lesbian pugs from Weston-super-Mare. I mean, again, if I had a band, undoubtedly I would use that as an episode title, as an album title.
Not if you want it to be taken seriously, Rob.
I mean, it's me, Alex. It would be a novelty band, obviously.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
We would do covers of.
Well, there's your artist name, novelty band. 2 lesbian pugs from Weston-super-Mare.
Yeah, I think. What would we cover? I mean, I say I like Pink Floyd, so I'm not gonna besmirch their name. I think we would do covers of Oasis in kind of a folk jazz style.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how the 2 lesbian pugs bit would fit in, but I'd find a way.
Yeah.
So as their preferences are analysed by dog behaviour experts, even Leon Towers.
Good name.
It is a good name. And I'm not going to do much anymore. I just because if anyone wants to go and have a look at the live commentary, they're literally live streaming the show as it airs. So it starts at 21:01, and then it runs through to.
Sorry, I'm a bit confused. What do you mean live streaming the show? Is the show pre-recorded?
Yes, it is. What I mean is...
So how are they live streaming it? All that means is broadcasting a pre-recorded show.
No. So what I mean is... maybe live tweeting, I should say. That makes more sense. So that they are literally commenting along with the episode.
Who are?
The Somerset Live website.
Oh, right. Okay, well, they're opening themselves up there to a world of hurt.
Well, I think it is moderated. I mean...
but are you telling me they're probably run on a skeleton staff, Rob, of 2? You telling me they can keep up with moderating those tweets? I'm sorry, that is probably the worst decision of the century to open up a live tweet session on that programme. Well done.
Yeah, fair enough.
This could destroy the Somerset Live. I
mean, I doubt it will. I mean, I don't know how many people tend to read this website, but I can't imagine it's a lot. There's just one comment I'm going to read out from this was from 21:20, so at least a third into the episode. And this is from a chap on Twitter who by the name of Adam Lake, who said, "Honestly, I've never laughed so hard in my life. My gay dog is just hilarious. Apart from the poor pup in the US who was put to be euthanized." That's right, yeah. Was put to be euthanized for a bit of non-conforming doggy behaviour. Glad someone saved him. Be proud, my friend.
Oh, yeah, because I'd imagine there's probably some nut jobs, isn't there, out there, who, if they had a gay dog, would have the dog put down.
Yeah. I mean, that yeah.
Or sent to a sort of a gay dog conversion camp.
I'm now worrying that actually exists.
I'm sure
if it does, it will be in the US.
Absolutely does, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, as I've already mentioned before, my next story is from the BBC. It's from the 21st of May, so we're going back a bit. It looks like it's been lifted from elsewhere. Doesn't name the source. Well, apparently it's from Wikimedia Commons. I'm not sure what that is. Well,
right.
that could be the image. Anyway.
No, that's the image from Wikimedia Commons, yes.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, yeah. Because I don't know where the stories come from, unless it says at the bottom.
I'm sure it's independent journalism from the BBC, Rob.
Yeah, quite possibly. Anyway, headline. Thieves steal German strawberry field.
Steal what?
German strawberry field.
How do you steal a strawberry field?
Well, they haven't really made
Strawberry fields forever. Actually, can we sing it in German? Strawberry... No, I can't do it. You do it.
Strawberry fields. No.
That was good. You were getting there.
Strawberry fields. No. This is just going to get more and more offensive the more I go on. So let's just leave that where it is.
Damn it. Yeah. Okay.
The thieves have made off overnight with most of the strawberry field in Western Germany.
What do you mean? What, did they cut up the grass?
No, they was just taking
the strawberries. But they didn't take the field then.
Well, they might. They might take some soil around it. You never know. Police say the fruit bandits loaded 2/3 of the field.
Fruit bandits. That's good.
Police say that the fruit bandits loaded 2/3 of the crop from a field at a farm near Lamsheim in the Rhineland-Palatine state. The local Rheinpfalz news reports.
Can I just say that the difference between the BBC and a publication like, I don't know, The Sun, The Mirror, or probably even The Metro is that those papers would have described them as the fruity bandits.
Yes, that's a very good point. Yeah.
No.
I mean, to be fair, there's no need for them to actually call them fruit bandits. They could just call them strawberry thieves. Not particularly funny, but just true. The thieves work systematically and have used vehicles to move the fruit, the police said, hoping that the scale of the operation means they should be witnessed. The farmers stands to lose €700.
Is that it?
Yeah. I mean,
it doesn't really seem worse the job of thieving, does it? You know, like, if you're going to thieve something... What I mean, do you know what I mean? You could just walk into like an Apple store and steal a phone that's worth more than that. Why are you bothering to steal its whole field of strawberries?
Well, come on to this. Also, by the way, you preempted one of the subheaders, which is strawberry fields forever.
Right, okay.
So strawberries are big business in Germany with around 140,000 tons harvested each year. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
Strawberries are, the shit in Germany.
Right.
According to Der Spiegel magazine, with another 100,000 tons imported, many from Spain. The fruit has become a more common target for theft in the sunnier parts of Germany in recent years. A year ago, enterprising robbers used rental cars to make their getaway in broad daylight from a farm in Bad Sodenheim.
But what I mean is, I'm sorry for interrupting, but when you are going to commit a theft, you want it to be like we can get quickly in and quickly out. Strawberries don't seem a good target for theft because you've got to walk up and down these, I've been strawberry picking, right? These lines of plants and individually pick strawberries.
Yeah, because it doesn't say how you do it en masse. Also, to steal an entire field of strawberries, which, let's face it, are quite delicate as well.
Yeah.
They're not hardy fruit.
But if there's a long period of time where you could get caught while you're doing this.
Yeah. Also, I mean, to hire rental cars...
I think just had like a giant vacuum cleaner and just,
Quite possibly. Maybe like a road sweeper or anything. Yeah. Also, the fact that they use rental cars, I would think that possibly the rental cars would have really sort of quite severely dented their profits.
Yeah.
However, not all thieves are so brazen. One strawberry pilferer was so consumed with remorse that they wrote to Heydrich Fuess, the farmer in Konstanz in the far south of Germany, whose fruit they had taken. I would like to apologise and make amends, the penitent wrote. Enclosing the prince's sum for €20, the Süddeutsche newspaper reported.
€20?
Yes.
Isn't that a bit sarcastic?
Well, yes, but I think he just wanted to. He wants to make a token.
If you steal, I don't know, €700 worth of stuff and you give somebody €20 back, you haven't really made penance, have you?
Well, at the same time, Farmer Fuess was so touched that he forgave his anonymous correspondent, especially as the theft dated back 20 to 30 years.
They are now married.
And living happily on their strawberry farm.
Did the man sign off his letter, the thief? I'm very sorry.
It doesn't say, but I hope he did.
Okay, Rob. I believe then it is that time of the week for our listener story of the week. Who is it from this time round, Rob?
So, can I just say, by the way, to our listeners, I think Alex and I have agreed that the next episode will be a listener special because we've been inundated with stories of a very high quality, I would like to say. This is again from Khyber, so this is the second time in a row from Khyber, but we've got a lot of stories at the moment that will be featured.
Okay, next week. All right, listener story special.
So this, again, is from the BBC website. Again,
hang on a minute. Hang on, I thought Khyber was a purist. It can only be from a local paper.
He is, of course he is, but I think he's done his best to try and find a local news story with some sort of comic or slightly strange element, but hasn't been able to find it in a local source. And also,
well, that's fine. I can't blame anybody.
No, and also I think if this happened in Russia, so there's a good chance it would be in Cyrillic, which neither of us can read.
Okay.
So this is from the
language of Russian? Of Russia? Rob?
Cyrillic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
This is from the same section of the BBC website. So the section is called News from Elsewhere. So I'm guessing it's obviously where they've scoured local news stories and then just put it onto their own page. I've never found this section of BBC News. I might have to look on there a bit more often.
Yes.
Anyway, so this is for the 4th of June. Again, no journalist is listed. It's, again, very similar to the last story. So, metal thieves steal rail bridge in Russia.
It's eerily similar.
Yeah.
The whole bridge.
Most of it, yeah. There is some bits of it left. The main stanchion of the bridge has been stolen.
What stanchion? I don't know what stanchion is.
Well, so the main bit of the bridge. So basically, the two
main
end
structure.
Bits are still in, yeah. So the bit
is there actually
the
a
main
bridge
span
bit
of the
left?
bridge.
Can you Is there actually a bridge bit left that you can drive over or whatever?
No. So basically, you've got the start of the bridge, the end of the bridge. The bit in the middle has gone missing.
So it's not a bridge anymore.
No, it is
an ex-bridge.
2 piers, maybe.
Okay.
So, a criminal case has been launched in Russia's Arctic region of Murmansk after suspected metal thieves made off with a railway bridge. Local prosecutors say the unknown perpetrators removed a metal structure 23 feet long and weighing 56 tons from the bridge, its main central span.
They weren't just carrying that on their backs, were they? What I mean, or like it, taking it off in a Ford Transit. What, I mean, how the fuck did they do it?
Well, it seems to suggest that it was done in sections, so they obviously maybe
nobody noticed.
Well, it's unused. It's an unused bridge, so I don't know whether.
Well, then why does anybody care if nobody's using the bridge? Why can't anybody have it?
But it still belongs to someone, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but if you just leave something and you don't take care of it and you don't use it, that's what happens in life.
Alex,
Rob.
That's not the way these things work.
Rob, if you leave a washing machine outside your house, right? And you leave it there for 2 years, 3 years, you never do anything about it, it's your own fault if somebody takes it.
Okay. I mean, Alex, by that logic, there are hundreds of flats in London that are empty day in, day out. That are owned by
and
oligarchs.
I completely agree that people would have the right to live in them if the people who own them are not going to use them, yes. Yeah,
okay, fair enough. The disused bridge is located in the remote forest near the abandoned settlement of, hang on, Oktябryanska, I think, around 100 miles south of the main capital of Mamutsk. Luckily, the bridge was disused and the tracks lifted long ago, according to state newspaper Rossaya Gazeta. The railway over the bridge was once used to transport concentrated rare earth elements from nearby plants, but was closed when the business went bankrupt in 2007. Residents first noticed the disappearing bridge in May. A picture posted on Russian social media network VK showed that the bridge was already missing its central section.
How come it didn't collapse then, if it didn't have the central bit?
Because they're basically it's got pillars. So basically, where the bridge now stops is where the pillars end.
Oh, okay.
So
right.
Those two bits are still supported.
Yeah.
But a chunk can still be seen resting in the middle of the river, suggesting the structure was first brought down and then taken apart piecemeal. The Post's anonymous writer predicted that the two remaining end sections would be eyesores for a long time to come, and then goes on to say, who cares? This isn't Germany, and restoring order to vandalised landscape is not high on the agenda.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Is that
the Germans really take care of their disused bridges?
Yeah, it's such a random statement to make.
Yeah.
Despite the,
but it's not incorrect though, Rob.
No, that's true. And
Russia isn't Germany.
I mean, in that basic statement, no, I think
yeah,
everyone.
It's really important to remember that, especially if you're travelling, because you want to get that right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's always worth bearing that in mind. I often do when I'm passing through Russia and think, do you know what? This isn't Germany.
Mm.
Despite the apparent spectacular nature of the theft, the damage caused is estimated at 600,000 rubles, which is about $9,000, to the local company that owns the structure, according to the Zanuck News website. Now, can I just say, as stories finish, this is one of the greatest last lines I've ever read.
Okay, hang on. So this is the last line of the story. We've had some corkers over the years.
So there's 2 lines left, okay? I'm going to read you the first line. I'll let you know when the last line's coming. The theft of metal objects by thieves interested in their scrap value has long been a problem in Russia. Right. So there's an object that was sold for scrap. It doesn't say how much it was sold for. We'd like to take a guess as to what was sold.
Like a statue of Lenin.
Oh, good. That's a good guess, but no.
It's not funny, though, is it? What would make it funny? I don't know.
Okay. In 2017, a 10-metre-long Soviet-era anti-aircraft missile exploded at a recycling centre, apparently after being sold for scrap.
Who the hell would think you can sell that for scrap without decommissioning it first? And why did they accept it?
Exactly. Surely the first thing you do is to make sure that thing wasn't still live.
Can I just say, having watched Chernobyl, have you finished watching it yet?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Having watching Chernobyl and just seeing, obviously what states are capable of in terms of cover up and everything else, that just sounds to me like that could have been a surface explanation for something they didn't want to admit to what had really happened, whatever this plant was. Oh yeah, it's actually this is what happened. Some guy donated, a missile to us for scrap and it exploded. Yeah, that's what happened. That kind of,
That's true. I was thinking you were going to suggest that this was a missile that they just wanted to get rid of, so they just took it down to the scrap centre and the guy went, "Are you sure that's safe?" He went, "Yeah, probably."
No. I think there was an accident there, but they couldn't admit to it. So this was the cover story.
And again, I mean, we've had so many good episode titles, but there's something I quite like about a 10-metre-long Soviet-era anti-aircraft missile.
The bit of you that likes that, Rob, is the same bit of you that likes trains and probably likes going to museums and seeing old World War sort of equipment, which I'm assuming you do. I've got no evidence for that, but I'm assuming you'd quite like that.
Yes.
That's the part of you that likes that title.
Look, we had the tank last week, and ultimately, I mean, you have to admit that if you came around someone's house and they went, "Yeah, come on in, just take a seat there, just ignore the anti-aircraft missile in the corner," it's going to be a talking point.
I can see you really like that last line of that story, and you loved the words in it. So after the episode, Rob, you can have a quick hand shandy over that yourself.
Thank you.
Okay, on that note, Rob, we bring this episode of LA Podcast to a close as we look forward with a mixture of eager anticipation yet trepidation to our next episode, which will be, help me, Rob, 278. As we move ever more forward, Rob, like what? I'm never prepared for this part of the episode. Why?
Hang on, I can't remember what your stories were. And this is why it's never good, because I can only ever remember my stories, because I know it's really bad, listeners, but we really struggle at the end of the episodes to remember what we've been through and what we've covered in the podcast. Like a man or woman, like a man being reluctantly led to his seat that's covered in vomit, and he's paid out hundreds of pounds for the privilege, just like that.
We move ever more forward to our next episode, which will be episode 278. Now, we can be found on our website, lapodcast.net. All the episodes are there. You can download all of them for free. If you want to donate to this podcast, help support this podcast, there is a donate button in the top right-hand corner there. All of the episodes now that we record automatically sort of upload onto YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and search for lapodcast.net, you'll find our logo. Click on it, you'll find videos there. We are on Spotify, aren't we, Rob?
We are
on
indeed,
Facebook
yeah.
and Twitter. Facebook.com/LA podcast is tends to be where most people go. I think that kind of about covers it. But if you do want to send us a story, send it to us. We're doing a listener story special next week, but just keep them coming. Keep them coming. lapodcast.net@gmail.com. Particularly if you're in somewhere other than the UK, we love to get international stories, and we haven't had any in a while. Yeah. So please do send us your stories to lapodcast.net@gmail.com. That is lapodcast.net@gmail.com. And Rob, as we bring Local Anaesthetic podcast to a close, we will spell the word anaesthetic in the UK spelling, and we're going to spell it. What's the word? Phonetically. So, according to a theme. So, Rob, you said we've had a few submissions this week. Do you want to pick one of those for us? Or
we've had loads.
How many have you had?
I will. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, right. We'll just use. Okay, so just do the first one.
Well, let me just say, first of all, that Steve gave us the suggestion of crustaceans, which isn't going to happen. And as I said to him on Facebook,
crustaceans are things like lobster
and crab. I think shrimp. Don't know. Okay. Amy said we could do possibly animals of the sea. Do you want to go to musicians, maybe?
Yes. Okay.
Musicians.
I like that. Okay. So anaesthetic spelt phonetically with musicians. So are we doing first name of the musicians, or let's do first names? Yes.
Okay.
Like as in the A has to begin. Okay. Annie Lennox.
Right. Okay. N. Neil Hannon.
Who's Neil Hannon?
He's the lead singer of Divine Comedy.
Oh, of course he was. Yeah. Okay. Or is. Yes. Okay. We've had Annie Lennox, Neil Hannon, Adamant,
Elton John,
Stevie Wonder,
T. Tyler the Creator.
Oh,
one for the kids there.
H. Oh my God, my mind's drawing a blank. H. Don't say anything, Rob. If you've got something, you hold on to it. Have you got something?
Yep.
Hold on to it. H. Happy Mondays.
It's a band.
Yeah, but I thought we could have that. He said musicians.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Okay,
yeah.
if it's just got, I thought it's just got names, then there's going to be loads, aren't there? There must be a Harry something or a.
Can I suggest one?
Yeah, go on.
Huey Lewis.
Ah, Huey Lewis, yeah.
E. Eric Clapton.
Yeah. T. What's his name? Aerosmith. Tyler.
Steve Tyler.
Oh no, I didn't. Trent Reznor.
Who?
What do you mean who?
Trent Reznor. Who the fuck is that?
Oh dear. Trent Reznor, Rob, is. I'm just bringing it up for you now. Trent Reznor, sorry.
Right.
9 Inch Nails.
Okay. Iggy Pop.
Oh. And. I can't have Kurt Cobain. It's a C.
No, because it's a K.
Craig David.
Oh, God.
I know, it's really brought it down there. Does he count as a musician? Do you want to say somebody else?
No,
Carly Simon. The beautiful music of Carly Simon. God bless. We'll be back next week. Shut up, Rob. We'll be back next week with more Local Anaesthetic. We look forward to seeing you there if you got through the tedium that was that last segment. God bless.
Are we doing it now?
Yes.
And keep it local.